Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Slasher Club, where there is no measure to terror and entertainment. And turns out, also pornography in horror movies.
A group of teenagers on their way home from prom who end up getting into a car accident by some other kid who was driving. And they end up getting lost in the woods and end up getting caught by the Leatherface family.
Interesting way of telling the story, but onto the info. We have director Kim Henkel, who honestly I can see why he didn't write the whole first movie. We have producer Robert Kuhn and Kim Henkel, written by Kim Henkel, music by Wayne Bell and Robert Jacks, cinematography by Levi Isaacs, and the address is 16493 Cameron Road, Puffluggerville, Texas. Hey, don't laugh. It's very awkward to say. And it's the family home. We have Renee Zellweger from, what was that movie? From Jerry Maguire, playing Jenny. We have Matthew McConaughey as Vilmer Slaughter. Robert Jacks as Leatherface. So wow, he has to do music and play the most awkward fucking Leatherface in the series. Tony Perensky as Darla Slaughter. Joe Stephen as Walter Edward Slaughter, or W.E. Lisa Marie Newmeyer as Heather. John Harrison as Sean. Tyler Kane as Barry. James Gale as Rothman. Deborah Marshall as Cop in Buddy's Pizza. John Dugan as Cop at Hospital. And Paul A. Parton as Hospital Orderly. So wow, we've got a returnee from the original movie. Oh, and Marilyn Burns as Sally Hardesty. So we've got two veterans coming back into the movie. I feel so bad for them. On to the slasher stats.
Alright, I counted a total of 6 deaths in this movie. The first being a neck snap, the second being Sean getting run over, third being Barry getting beaten by Leatherface, the fourth Heather getting her head stomped by Vilmer, the fifth being Mrs. Spottish getting the RV flipped, and the sixth having Vilmer get his head chopped by a plane.
You kind of played off one of the deaths pretty easily. Actually, she was, what was her name?
Heather?
Yes, Heather gets hooked, burned, and crushed by Vilmer. Can't forget all those.
Right.
So, how many kills does that leave us with?
A total of, actually 7 if you want to count Mr. and Mrs. Spottish.
Okay, interesting number. On to favorite kill. For me, I have to say, it's gotta be Heather gets hooked, cooked, and crushed. I mean, it's the most theatrical kill, I guess you could say. I mean, the rest are kind of a bit boring to me, where here, they just put her through so much just to fuck with her. And even though it's been done through a long period of time, they just literally dragged it out, but I just feel it was the most creative kill in this movie, or the one kill that made the most fucking sense. What about you?
I have to agree and say my favorite kill is Heather as well, because it was literally the only kill, like you said, that actually made sense for a movie like this.
Okay. Lee's favorite kill. Unconscious driver has his neck snapped. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? That could have been a whole new important character in this movie. Instead, they decide to have him fall unconscious after being dead drunk and crashing his car, and knocking that light out with Vilmer's hands just so fucking easily. I mean, and the way they did it, it was kind of boring, like, oh, he's dead now. Ooh, snap. Just, if you're going to do a neck snap, at least give more story or make the character more interesting. Give us a backstory on him or explain why he's drunk or why he's even there. Instead of just naming him unconscious drunk and then killing him. I mean, even the town drunk of Friday the 13th, Ralph had more story, and we only see him for a few scenes in the first and second movies. And we finally see him get killed in the second movie. Here, we have no development for this guy. It just seems like he's just cannon fodder to raise the kills in this movie, and it's just, that's not how you do a horror movie. What about you?
My least favorite kill has to be Barry getting beaten by Leatherface. All it took was one blow, he was out cold, and the rest of the time he was just getting kicked and thrown by Leatherface.
I mean, you could say it was kind of reminiscent of the first movie. What's his name getting hit over the head with the hammer, but that had more. That had more.
Go on.
That had more of a theatrical feel. I mean, we actually get to see what's his name wriggle around, just having a complete seizure after having his brains basically rattled around inside of his head.
I think this movie tried to replicate the original way too much.
I mean, yeah, it's Tim Henkel, one of the original writers, and he even says in many interviews, oh, this was supposed to be a parody of the original movie. I mean, turning Leatherface into a very feminine, girlish character. Drag queen Leatherface. And the only explanation for that they give is, oh, Leatherface takes on any persona that his mask has, or he tries to become what his mask shows him as.
They give him a masculine mask, Jesus.
Exactly. I mean, he even such a fucking pussy in this movie. He even got taken down by a nerdy girl in this movie. I mean, I'm glad to finally see the nerd become the final girl, or the nerd winning, but not this way, not just yelling the killer down, and the subplot was the worst. My fucking god. The Illuminati, or whatever the fuck the cult was, or leaders of this whole project were, you make subtle references to the Illuminati unless you're like Halloween 6, but here they're just everywhere. They're explaining the whole backstory of the organization. They have one of them kill off Vilmer in the end with a toy plane. And then that scene with at the dinner table. Oh my god, that fucking ruins it. I mean, he comes in after we finally see, oh shit, it's supposed to be a parody of the original movie dinner scene, and no, they're not eating people, they're eating fucking pizza. They're turning the whole Sawyer, Slaughter, whatever the fuck they're called now, into a normal family having pizza dinner. They're supposed to be the family we fear that's all carnivorous and eating people.
Oh boy, if this was meant to be a parody, what a fine job they did.
It makes me want to hurl, but onto the facts. Budget of $600,000. Wow. Box office.
That big of a budget?
Box office of $185,898. Thank God. They didn't even make back what they owed.
That wasn't even a third.
First release as The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, right. Fuck them. The secret societies. It was influenced by the Illuminati. Yeah, we know that. Seen as commentary on the declined state of horror films in the late 1980s and early 90s. Which basically they're saying there's become in horror movies, there's become a decline in the killers actually catching the victims or killing them, and the villains easily getting beaten up by the heroes, or being reduced to fucking parodies like this. I mean, yeah, I can see the real decline in horror movies right now. Oh my god. We get 3, which is supposed to be one of the worst movies, and I fucking enjoyed it. Now, they decide to follow up with The Next Generation, a fucking parody of the original, and just playing off the incidents in Part 2 and Part 3 as, oh, they were minor, they had nothing to do with this. Is that really how you want to decide to play these off? I mean, really? You're already digging your grave with the subplot of the Illuminati, but you want to play off one of the worst and one of the best movies off as just, oh, they were minor incidents. You don't have to worry about them. Just brush them under the rug. And what's even... Go on.
This is me nitpicking a little, but Have you noticed that this movie was made in 1994, but the story is depicted in 1996? And they said after the 1990 movie, there was 5 years of silence?
I can understand that. I mean, again, look at how terrible it was. And honestly, I don't think they would have been able to keep up the whole 1996 story with... I mean, it doesn't even look like it belongs in the 90s. 80s at least. Or somewhere around that. And, I mean, I don't mind the music, but at least give us some bands that anyone that watches this might actually know. I mean, unless you're into that very deep into history music that you can't really find on a playlist, then go ahead, you can watch this, you can listen to the whole soundtrack, but I read that whole list, and not one band have I ever heard of.
Have you also noticed that Leatherface screams way too much in this movie?
He does. I mean, I was ready to just cut my ears off after hearing his first screech.
And what the fuck was he wearing?
He was wearing a dress, a blouse, no, a blouse, some jacket, and a female mask. I mean, again, we saw him with playing like the female, but also like more strong female character in the first movie, but here, they just bring it from a 8 down to at least like a 2. I mean, I don't mind the mask in the first movie. Here, it's just... it doesn't look good on him. It makes him look completely female. And with his personality, you can't even tell if he's supposed to be a killer or just be the biggest fucking pussy in the world. And you barely even...
It got to the point where I thought that the character for Leatherface had been changed. Like, who was playing him? Like, they didn't know how to play Leatherface.
I mean, they didn't really give the guy in charge of music a big script to tell him what not to do or what to do. I mean, basically, they just told him, do the worst Leatherface in the world you can do, and we'll roll with it. And this is the worst part about being in that production. The whole cast had to share a tiny Winnebago. So think of the Lone Star from Spaceballs, and just put that in a small area and put like a cast of at least 10 to 12 people sleeping in there, doing their makeup, getting their hair done. I mean, literally, that's one big fucking breathing hazard. And getting dressed in such a tight space, I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have been better off running outside naked, getting dressed.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Who the hell was the old guy sitting at the table who grabbed a knife?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be a parody of Grandpa, but honestly, I don't fucking know. I don't even know who the hell the rest that were sitting at the table were supposed to be.
Oh, this movie was all over the place.
And then there was the cameo at the end. What's her name? the main character, Jenny notices this random woman out of nowhere being wheeled down the hallway, and I'm thinking, is that Sally?
Didn't they say Sally died a good 20 years before that?
Yeah, they claimed that, but I'm starting to think maybe the whole fucking timeline is completely fucked up. Think of it as they were trying to do, like, Halloween, but without even knowing how they wanted to do the timeline. I mean, again, they told us she died in the third movie, and they already played that off as a minor incident in this movie. How is Sally still alive? She was supposed to have died of natural causes.
What makes it even more confusing is she died before the second movie, which was made 6 years after her supposed death.
This is a fucked up timeline. I mean,
unless this really is a parody and they're just doing that out of a joke.
I mean, it's a pretty bad joke, but honestly, I think I'm gonna fucking rank this at least 3.
What did I rank the first movie?
I don't even remember. I'd have to check the editing again, but
I think I ranked the first movie a 4, so I'm gonna cut that in half for this movie.
You know, fuck it, I agree. I mean, I was giving it a 3 because I like Matthew McConaughey and I like Miss Zellweger, but just looking at their characters, it was kind of bad. I mean,
these characters were whiny assholes.
I don't even think they were on the level of Chop Top, who was the most fucked up, retarded character in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series.
One thing I noticed was that some of these characters were self-aware, like Heather. I'm a bitch. You know I'm a bitch. I told you I'm a bitch.
I mean, yeah, they knew their roles, but we've got the horny teenage fuckboy, we've got the huge bitch who can't make up her mind and has to stay with the whole group. We've got the now badass nerd that likes to get stoned, and then we've got her friend. I mean,
this guy barely got any screen time. I thought he was going to last longer than this.
Yeah, I know, right. He dies right in the beginning of the movie. Right after, the drunk driver. And that's it.
And I thought Velmer's death was pretty damn funny. What I don't get is the way he died. Like, who drives a plane, and then suddenly decides, oh, they're chasing that girl. Let me swoop down in there and slice his head.
Well, it was the Illuminati. They were trying to get rid of some loose ends, so they decided to kill him. And then, the huge knife stab in the heart in this movie would have to be the ending. I mean, we're used to, like, the first movie, we've got the chainsaw dance. You've got the second movie where it's the main girl doing the Stretch. She is doing the chainsaw dance at the end of part 2. Part 3, we don't even get the dance. And here, we have to watch drag queen Leatherface dance around in a dress.
Oh my god. I saw the fake tits on him too.
Oh god. So, we've got multiple
This was
shots.
just a terrible movie.
We've got multiple shots on this movie. Bad character acting and bad acting for most of the main characters except for McConaughey and Zellweger. We've got just a complete murder of Leatherface's character in this movie. We've got no reason for them to end up eating pizza instead of eating people in this movie. And last but not least, we've got the most rattiest fucking kills that make no sense. And the dumbest subplot in the movie. I mean, I thought the whole getting the cokeheads from demons was bad. This one doesn't even belong in the movie. There shouldn't even be an Illuminati in this movie. I don't even think Kim Henkel was taking his own film series literal in this movie. He just piled giant pieces of shit on it. And I'm taking this from the Jurassic Park movies. He took a huge dinosaur-sized piece of shit and put it inside of a DVD case and just sold those giant pieces of shit. Well, on the bright side, next week we've got... Oh, right, we're taking over with Child's Play next week, and the Black Christmas movie. The original. Don't worry, guys, we're not doing the remake for at least, I think, a year. We also have the Tomorrow Krampus, and we're going to continue with the Child's Play after we do Child's Play 1 next week. Then, after at least 3, you can follow with us on the schedule. 3 will be going back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then we'll be coming back to Child's Play, finish that up, and after that, we are moving on to the Saw franchise. We are moving on to the Saw franchise.
What's interesting is I've seen both the entire Child's Play and Saw franchise, so I'm gonna know a lot about what's gonna happen in these movies.
Especially since it was one of the first horror movies you and me ever watched.
Which one?
You don't remember? Your father brought to New Jersey the first Saw movie, and we ended up watching it together.
The first Saw movie?
Yeah, we were at least 4 or 5.
Oh, I must have been too young to remember that.
You must have been. But don't worry, guys. Better movies are coming up. Better sequels to Leatherface are coming up soon. Later next year. So don't worry. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night with Krampus for our German Christmas special. Any final words, Derek?
All I have to say is, don't ruin a good franchise with a bad sequel.
And don't watch this movie. It's worse than every space subplot you could think of.
And it's cringy, too.
Very. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and watch this whole video for the most torture we've ever been through. Good night, goodbye, and please, never watch this movie, even if you're just trying to finish the whole series. Film Exorcist, dispelling this ugly-ass fucking movie forever.